Good afternoon, students. Today, starting with the next topic of our chapter, that is water cooler. So, the third part of our the third topic of our chapter, that is after air condition or refrigeration, that is water cooler. The water cooler, which is having identical machinery or devices or parts as that of air conditioner or refrigerator. So again, the main part of our water coolers are compressor, motor, receiver, condenser, expansion valve, evaporator, water tank, cover, pressure gauge. Pressure gauge for both sides. One is the incoming or outgoing, the insulator, and filler bulb. Now the extra thing that is which is differentiating from the air conditioner or refrigerator is insulator. So it is a basic diagram of a water cooler that is operated by a compressor. Here we can see a compressor with a motor that are mounted. The valves are provided. The pipes, which is receiver and collector, both are provided. The expansion valve is there. Then the evaporator tubes are there. That is a tank, water tank, which is filled with the water. It is surrounded by expansion tubes. The sides of water cooler are filled with the insulator or glass. So that is the basic diagram of a water cooler. Now if we are talking about the working principle of a water cooler, it is similar to our air conditioner and the refrigerator. There is a compressor. The main purpose of compressor is to compress the any refrigerant or whatsoever material we are providing as a refrigerant. So after compression, this refrigerant is fed to a condenser side. It is a high pressured, high speed and high temperatured fluid that is flowing through these tubes. At condenser, that fluid or refrigerant is forcefully cooled down at a high pressure. Okay, so when the temperature decreases, it is fed to the receiver side where it goes to a expansion valve. At expansion valve, this refrigerant, high pressure refrigerant, is allowed to regain or to expand in a large volume, where it tries to take the radiant energy, it tries to take the latent heat of that area in which water or working liquid is fluid. So it takes the temperature from water and keeping behind the low temperature water in the tank, and after that evaporated coil, it is again fed to compressor side. So this cycle goes on repeating again and again. Compressor, condenser, high temperature fluid is tend to flow from this condenser where it is cooled down at a high pressure. After that it is fed to expansion where it expand and take out the latent heat of a working fluid which is to be cooled down, and after that evaporating coil, it is again fed to compressor. So that is the main working principle of a water cooler. Okay, so if we are talking about an electric circuit of a water cooler, the electric circuit, it contained two motors which are running. One is a motor which is a compressor motor which is acting or which is applied there to mount on with a compressor. Its main work is to operate the condenser or to compress down the refrigerant. The other motor, that is a fan motor. The working of this fan motor is to cool down to pressurize pressured coolants of that condenser so that it can forcefully cool down. So again, both the motors are capacitor motors. In each case, the capacitor is working for running as well as for the starting purpose. Okay, a 230 volt supply is given. After that, a number of protection schemes. One is a thermostat and a overall load protection. Both are provided. The working of this thermostat is to provide a temperature barrier on which temperature we want to cool down our water, and overload protection, that is the protection to this compressor motor, so that if our compressor is working for a long time or long hours, it will gain the heat, the windings got heated up. So to protect our motor from this heat failure, overload protection is provided. Okay, and this is all about our water coolers. The water cooler we are using for the purpose of drinking water, to cool down the drinking water at a public area. Even in our college we are using these water cooler for the purpose of feeding water, cool water in the summer. So if you have any doubt, you can ask. The next and last topic of our chapter, that is desert cooler. It is very different from all the other techniques, the air conditioner or fan. It is a simple cooler which is provided to give you a low temperature air from the environment. So no extra components are provided. It is having a very basic structure. The main component of a desert cooler are induction motor. That is an induction motor. Now in this section, two motors are used. One is for the fan purpose, other is as a pump. The water tank, as desert cooler are water operated, so water tank is needed. Then fins are nothing but the fins of a fan motor, which are provided to give you the air. And filter, the main purpose of filter is to uh, provide a dry and clean air from the outer environment. So this is a basic structure of a desert cooler. As you can see, a fan is there, water pump is there which is filled with the water, a filter is there. From this side we are getting a humid air. Humid air means it is working on a basic principle of air, that is when the air coming from outside environment that comes in a contact with the water evaporate, and in this process the moisture content of air increase while its temperature get decreased as compared to the outer side. So resultant cold air and moist air is used to provide a cooling. So desert cooler, these are the simple devices which consist of an arrangement of blowing dry and hot air over a wet surface, and the arrangement for keeping the surface wet continuously. These cooler consist of a boiler pump as discussed. The principle of working that is similar if we are talking about the classifications. Now as depending upon the arrangement, these type of cooler are classified as a vertical plane, as a horizontal plane, and as a coolers without water pump. Now this is working on the basis of our comfort level. As you can see, it is a basic structure of a desert cooler in which a pump is there, water pump is there, which is kept in a water tank. Uh, Around this section, few pipes which are taking the water from down to the sides. These sides are provided with filters, number of filters. Mostly 3 filters are used on the sides. The water is allowed to fall on those filters, and this water is working as a, you we can compare it as a exhaust one from the back side. So it take out the forcefully it tries to take the air from the outer environment, and outer environmental air it uh, comes through this filter to this fan, and then this fan throw out the wet and cool air from this section, from where we get uh, low temperature air, tempered or low temperatured air, which is cooler than the environmental. Then the horizontal plane, in this section the arrangement is so that instead of having a vertical fans, we are using a horizontal blower, like the blower we are using in a dryer or hot blowers. So the arrangement of that fin is like they are playing in a, they are kept in a horizontal condition. So mostly the blower with a number of fins that is used, rest pads and everything that is similar. And last part is our coolers without water pump. Now in this type of cooler, blower vertical one, horizontal one, the horizontal blower is used, and due to the you can say when we are, there is a condition of having no space to place a water cooler, desert cooler. So these coolers are provided on the roof, and the vent is taken from these cooler to the desired place. So they require a less space, and they are more economical as compared to conditioner. Their cost is very low as compared to air conditioner. Noise level is a bit higher, but depending upon our horizontal and vertical, instead of using a blower, it is quite silent. They are having a less noise level. So these type of arrangements can be done. So it is all about the utilization of electrical energy for using uh, or to providing a cooling effect. So the main purpose of this chapter was to check out the utilization of electrical energy in the form of coolingness, or to get the cool air. So three main parts are covered in this chapter. The one is the air conditioner, a refrigerator and water tank. The last part was our desert cooler. Desert cooler is a simple cooler. So if you get any query regarding this chapter, you can ask, and the rest everything notes and this PPT I will share you with the in your digital library section. You can find it there. Thank you.